Hey, Inspired Tribe. How's it going? John Nolan here. It's Kristin Nolan here. And this is the Inspired Daily Livestream on April 3rd, 2020. Welcome, everyone. The pure, positive stream of life. How are you guys doing today? Let me know, as always. Um, Tune in and chat in right here in the live chat. Uh, and for those of you, because we received a comment about this, why I'm looking to the left is because there's a computer here. And because I don't want to have it right in front of me that blocks the screen, I put it right here. But here I can see your comments. Hey, Rosie. Hey, everyone. Rosie's doing amazing today. That's good to hear. We need to start this right, don't we? Our mantra for the Inspired Daily Livestream is we're healthy, we're wealthy, we're whole, and we are free. We're healthy, we're wealthy, we're whole, and we are free. And because these are words that are not being used very much right now on other media channels, we use them more and more and more because we want to remind you, ourselves, and everything and everyone around us that this is our most natural state of being. Hey, Agni, how's it going? Agni is tuning in every day. She's been on every live stream so far. So you deserve a badge. There probably, we'll figure out. There might be some badges for top tune inners, tapped inners, turned inners. So if you have seen the description for today's live stream, I use the word war. And the reason is that it always happens the same way. I'm observing something, it keeps popping up. You know how this works. If something is important for you, it keeps popping up in your reality. And so I kept hearing that word, and then I kept resisting, and I thought, why do people call this a war? A war on the virus or whatever. Hey Gary, how's it going? Hey Maria. Hallo Maria, wie geht's? Hallo nach Deutschland. And so this word's being thrown around, the word war. And they're saying we're having this war on the virus and stuff. And I thought, why is this word resonating with me, and why am I feeling resistance? And then I was reminded of this ancient story that's passed down from generation to generation in the native tribes here on Turtle Island. And there's this story that goes something like this. The grandfather says to the grandson, grandson, there's two wolves living inside of each and every one of us. The one wolf is greed and anger and fear and violence and jealousy. And the other wolf represents love and peace and harmony and freedom and joy and abundance. And these two wolves, they're fighting, they're at war. And the grandson looks at the granddad and says, well, granddad, which wolf is winning? And the granddad says, the one you feed. The wolf you feed is winning. And so this analogy reminded me of this state of inner conflict that we as a collective have been for such a long time. And now for the first time in I don't know how long, it feels that everything's coming to a more peaceful state within us. And it feels like we are remembering a little more who we really are. We have more time to do that now. And I want to go back a little bit and give you my take. It's my belief, and it isn't solely based on what I think, or it isn't just an opinion. It is through lots of studying and lots of books and lots of people that have given and passed on information, especially from indigenous people who have a more pure, a more uninterrupted stream of wisdom that's being passed on. I believe that our most natural state of being, where we come from, is harmony. I believe that we came here to live here on this physical plane in this physical reality in harmony. I believe that violence wasn't part of our system. I don't believe that we, were killing not each other and also not animals. I also believe that even animals weren't at that state, at that most natural state, killing each other. I believe that we were in a harmonious, always expanding place, and then something happened and we fell off the wagon, and that's when this inner war started, slowly but surely, where there were these two wolves that have been fighting. And now this is a perfect time to walk past this fight. And the thing that's always been going on, it has always been about light or darkness. You're either here or you're there. But if you know that these wolves are there and the wolves are inside of you, it's about harmony. It's about harmonizing. It's not about, see, the yin and the yang belong together. The night and day, it all belongs together. It is not about which is better or dominant. It is about harmonizing it. And if we can, in this state of duality on this planet, harmonize it more, then we find more peace amongst each other. We find peace within, find peace amongst each other. And that was the thought that I've been getting. And it was an interesting morning. I got up very, very, very early, and I was doing some work. And first I meditated and had a clear vision. And then I did some work for a few hours, and then I meditated again. And it was coming through so clearly to not be afraid of these words, war and fight, and because it brings out so much clarity. So now I'm going to look to the left and see what you guys are saying. It's true. Rosie says something beautiful. And it's also, this image has been shown to us a lot of times, hasn't it? Is you can have it can be pitch black, dark, complete darkness, and you strike a match, and the darkness is broken. The light is so much stronger. Just a little bitty bit of light is so much stronger than all of the darkness. But it belongs together, and on this human plane, it belongs together. And this was everything from me today, but we're not gonna end it here. I felt and knew this was going to be a very short message for me today because that's what's coming through. But we will invite our friends from the other side, and Christine will join us. Yes, Sarah, thank you so much. Thank you all for tuning in. Christine will join us, and
Hey, Inspired Tribe, how are you today?
And we'll invite our friends from the other side, and you guys,
I have to move that a little bit here.
Yeah, move it. You guys feel free to ask some questions. And yeah. Are you all ready? I actually need to know if they're ready. I'm very excited to be here.
We are very excited too.
Are you now? And it's a beautiful day.
It is.
And who is going to be stirring up the pot today?
Let me see. There is a question, and it says, how can we accept the truth which people say is wrong or hurtful?
Any sentence that starts with how can we accept what people say, we'd like to drop this and not give it momentum, because what people say is none of your business. And even more to the point, what people believe, especially about you, is none of your business. What people think about you is none of your business. And we know that there is this other side, this other equation where what if information is not being portrayed correctly? What if what you are hearing and what you're experiencing, what if that doesn't match up? Well, you need to do you, and your guidance system doesn't come from other people. It doesn't even come from authorities. It doesn't come from accepted knowledge. It comes from what you are feeling, and what you are feeling is very it is very clear when you are connected. It is very clear when you are connected to your higher self. It is very clear when you are in connection with source. And then these words that are so important to you, they become clearer and clearer and clearer, and then you create this image for yourself where you feel a truth that is beyond explanation, that is beyond justification, that is beyond the need for others to accept it. And you can carry this truth and this light with you without having anyone around you agreeing with it. And usually when you lead the way in any area of your life, when you lead the way, it starts on a vibrational level, and then you lead the way in a more visible level. And it is always, 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 it always starts with one voice. It always starts with one voice that speaks a truth that is not distorted and that is not muddied up. It's a truth that comes from a higher place. And so that's really the voice that really you should care about and listen to and acknowledge, is the voice of your higher self. That is the voice of wisdom that has been with you through eternity. That's the one we suggest you listen to.
The next question is, how can we stabilize ourselves?
The word stabilizes feels very technical to us. We would suggest you find a word that has more feeling. Like the word harmonize has a lot of feeling. And harmony only means order. Harmony means that you are bringing yourself and your cells and your organism and your system back to order. And order is the way that you live in clarity and balance. So, how do you harmonize? How do you bring that order about? Well, there's two ways to go about it, and both ways are valid. And one way is, of course, to realize it is what you call the process of elimination. What is disturbing your natural order? What is it disturbing in terms of what you are consuming mentally, visually? What are you listening to? What are you watching? A very important thing that causes you to get out of balance. So the process of elimination says that you, one by one, feel your way through what works and what doesn't, what benefits you and what doesn't, what uplifts you and what doesn't. And then all the things that are on the what doesn't list, let them go in love. That's a process of elimination, and we encourage you to do that. It is kind of like a big cleanup, and you should do this from time to time. It's very important. And then the other way to do this is by giving yourself space, quiet time in a quiet space. And you know what we will say next? It's meditation. It's to go into this quiet place of appreciation, of calmness, of here-ness, nowness, in the moment, being in the moment, and allowing for the thoughts to pass by, not holding on to them, not giving them momentum, and then finding this place of tranquility and peace where there's a natural harmonization process. It's very, very rare for any human to be in a state of deep relaxation and come out not harmonized. It's just against the natural laws. So both the process of elimination and the process of going within meditation, we feel they go hand in hand. Although the first one, it is not a daily practice. You do this, you clean house, and then you move on into this meditative state that gives you further guidance to what benefits you and what doesn't.
Just a second. The next question is, Can we stay young in terms of physicality and looks, and how?
Yes, and yes, and yes. Next question. Yes. So, the eternal question, which is trying, which now science is trying to answer with technology, and if anything, then the great benefit from seeing this technology that keeps the body young or helps it to become younger, the real benefit from this technology is just seeing the possibility of it and to understand that there is no limitation, truly. And there always have been and always will be humans on your planet that live way beyond any expectations, that are hundreds of years old. Even at this time on your planet, there are humans that are hundreds and hundreds of years old. We're not talking 100 years. We're talking 2, 3, 4, up to 700 years. That is what's right now, people that are right now living on this planet. And it really isn't that hard to understand. Know and understand that what are your cells doing on a biological level, on a biochemical level? Your cells are reproducing always. And what is happening is that the quality of the reproduction decreases over time, but it doesn't do that by default. It doesn't do that by nature. It does it because of the way you live and what you believe and what you think and what your vibration is and what you put into your bodies. So all of these things matter greatly, starting with vibration. So what you believe, how you vibrate, the rate you vibrate at. And when you transcend these lower levels of vibration that cause a decrease in the quality of your cell reproduction, then you start coming into states where your cells reproduce at a higher quality level, and the possibility for your cells to reproduce in the 100% quality level are absolutely given. It wasn't meant to be a so in the original idea, it wasn't meant to be a non-stop process of birth, life, and death. Now, humanity has created this cycle, but it isn't something that is inescapable. You can live through way longer periods of time, and it begins with you having that intention, with you making that decision, with you starting to program yourself that way, with you starting to implement those beliefs and turn them into a knowing, and that knowing becomes a program that is being introduced to your body, and your body works with programs. Whatever you program it to, it will start to become. So if you program your body, your cells, your beingness to being young and being vital and being healthy and being energetic and being strong, then this is what is going to happen. And then you harmonize your way of living and bring it into alignment with your intention. In other words, if you consume on multiple levels things that do not match that vibration of your intention and of your desire, then there will be a discrepancy that will cause your vibration to go lower and beyond that which is required for your desire to be fulfilled.
Carla is saying, Yusi, Abraham has a beautiful word for harmonizing. It's calibration, which I love. Thank you so much for your wonderful clarity and love.
We love the abundance of words that are emerging, and even some that are being newly created. And there's a necessity for those new creations, because whenever humans take and make leaps in their expansion, all of a sudden the old descriptions and words just don't match, and just don't match that vibration anymore. So you will hear new words all around you, and you will feel the meaning of them because of the way they're being put together. And there's a deeper meaning behind that as well. There's an energetic combination of letters and sounds and words that create certain feelings and that help with creating certain states of vibration. So the importance of words is is very high. It's a very high importance, and we love the expansion of your vocabulary. We truly love it.
The next question is, can you say something about the worldwide, I hope as I pronounce it right, QAnon movement, the plan to save the world, and the intelligence behind?
So, at any given time, at any given time in human history, there are always, and we ask you to follow us here because this is a bigger understanding in a bigger sense, is this desire of yours, this desire of yours to live in an abundant, harmonious, and ever expanding state. It always causes movement, it always causes friction in some way, it always also causes resistance in places, and then it causes more allowing in other places. So this is a very dynamic process. And given the at least 7 billion, at least 7 billion intentions at any given time, and you have to consider that most humans have more than one intention. They have multiple and multiple and multiple intentions. So we're looking at billions and billions and billions of intentions. And these intentions, when they start to, and we're going to use that word again, to harmonize with each other, in other words, when there is a common dynamic created, then there is a common intention created, and then there is a common desire created, and then there is a common expansion unfolding, a manifestation unfolding. And so, what you are referring to is a collective desire for certain things in your human togetherness to change and to evolve and to improve and to become better. And you give these powers, you give these forces, you give these ideas names, and you give them, of course, it's what humans do. They give them a name and they give them something that is tangible and physically describable for you, but it is all happening on an energetic level. And yes, naturally, because the desires are so strong and with such strong intention, and there have been so many feelings and emotions added into those desires, they can't but not manifest. This is what's happening, it's unfolding. And so no requirement, no need to save the world, because the world is a human construct. Not We're not talking about the all that is construct of the planet. We're talking about the world, which is a human construct. The ways you interact with each other, the systems that you create, these are ever evolving, and from time to time they're completely changed to the core. At the core they're completely changed, and there is a great potential for humanity to to clean up. And this is what's happening. But we're not talking with violence, we're not talking with revolution or war. We're talking energetically speaking. You have cleaned your houses, you've cleaned cleaned up your vibrations, so it must reflect on the outside in your physical reality. It must reflect. That is the law of attraction. So in other words, it is absolutely unfolding, and you can see it everywhere. You can see it with the situation on your planet right now. What is unfolding is truly a new beginning for lots and lots of improvement.
The next question is, how do we balance male and female energies within ourselves to expand our experiences for loving, compassionate relationships to unfolding?
It is the same. The act of balancing or harmonizing is, the process is always the same. It is to acknowledge first that both live within you, to acknowledge that you have chosen for yourself a dominant side. That is what you feel you are, whether you are a man or you are a woman. That is what you have chosen as a dominant vibration, as a dominant reality for you. But to harmonize these male and female, as you call them, means to acknowledge that you are a broader being, that you aren't just what your physical gender is, and you aren't just what you consider to be your name and all these descriptive elements, but that you are a much broader being that has your roots are in eternity. And so when you realize that, when you find that connection with source, when you find that connection with your higher self, then you are automatically harmonizing these parts within you. You can't be tuned in, or you can't be harmonized and connected and not feel balance inside of you. It's not possible. You can't be sad and happy at the same time. You can't be relaxed and angry at the same time. It just doesn't work. So it all comes always down to your level of connectivity. And we're not talking about your Wi-Fi. We're talking about the higher self connectivity to source. So the more you are connected, the more you harmonize, and then you are a balanced being, and that is how you walk through life. That is how you interact. That is how you be. That is how you do.
The next question is: it is very easy for me to be in appreciation, but I have some difficulty in meditation. Can you help me to meditate?
You have given this already more momentum than it required, and perhaps if you allow yourself to broaden your perspective of what meditation is, then you will know and understand that you are a natural born meditator. If you have ever if you have ever experienced a moment where you just sat somewhere and just looked at the horizon, or at the ocean, or at the trees, or at the grass, or at an animal, and you were simply in the act of being, of not spinning around thoughts, of not hatching grand new ideas, of not creating something, but when you were just in the act of being, then when you were in a deep meditative state. Now you have this visual of you being in a certain position, and you the requirements of sitting up straight, and the requirements of being in a lotus position, and the requirements of this and that, and all of these things have there's a time and place for that. But if you can find it within you to just sit and to just be for a moment, and start with 15-20 seconds of just being, and if you feel that 15-20 seconds are not enough to release the need to engage in the thoughts that are coming up, then give yourself another 15, and maybe another 15, and just be. You don't even have to close your eyes. You don't even have to go into the deep process. Just be. And then you will feel that a certain level of satisfaction after just being, a certain level of satisfaction comes. And this is what comes before boredom kicks in. And eventually, what will happen is you will have a longer period of satisfaction, and you will naturally be drawn to closing your eyes, and you will naturally feel that taking deeper breaths feels good, and you will naturally feel that there is a place for you to go that is everywhere. And so this will unfold naturally. But if you don't put a goal, because meditation is about everything but reaching a goal. Meditation is about everything but reaching a goal. It is about being in the present moment. And starting with something that comes easy to you and is natural is the best possible way for you to learn how to truly meditate.
Sorry, I think. Oh, there's the last question. What happens in what humans call sleep paralysis, where the body is not able to move but you're awake, usually happening at night?
So, when you enter a state of deep sleep, then a lot of times the broader part of you is able to disconnect from your body. And that's why you can dream and go on journeys in faraway dimensions, and your body is still at the very same place that it is. And so sometimes this at this intersection where the the broader part of you is traveling and experiencing, and the body, the here body, physical body, is awakening. Sometimes this is not perfectly synchronized. So what you're experiencing, that the broader part of you, the the eternal life force of you, is a little bit behind, if you will. And so these experiences are, it is like it is like exercise or a workout or training. Basically, you are remembering and remembering how to do these things, remembering how to take control of your experience, remembering how to travel through space and time, all those things that are so natural to human beings who remember. And you're remembering these things, and so you have these moments where things feel off, and don't give them too much meaning. You are an ever evolving being, an ever expanding being, and as you remember your abilities, all of this will harmonize as well. So if you have an experience like that, just be calm, breathe in, and call yourself to you, which is an, it feels like an invitation. It feels like a soft but beautiful invitation to return to you, to unite again, to be one again. And it will happen so naturally. And these things will subside eventually. They will not be part of your experience anymore. We are joyful. We're excited that this interaction was made possible. We love feeling your expansion. We love feeling where you are going. We love feeling your journey. And we love being with you on it. And so,
It is.
and so,
It is.
and so.
It is. Thank you.
Well, Inspired Tribe, thank you all for being with us today. This was the last live stream for this week.
Yes. We will be back on Monday.
Yes, so this is a new format. We have decided on a 5+2. So we'll see you all on Monday. And as always, for those of you, if you have deeper questions, I know some of you have already booked sessions and emailed us. But if you want to go and ask more questions and have more time with UC, then please feel free to send us an email. We do one-on-ones as well. We'll put the email right here in the live chat. There's, of course, email in the description of the video too. And be a shining light over these next couple of days. Enjoy your meditations. Love yourself. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself lots of vibrational hugs because you're awesome. You're divine creators. And we'll see you all on Monday. Have an inspired
Rest of your day. Thank you.